So thank you for that nice introduction. I come today very thankful for this opportunity to come in front of you as citizens of this city to talk about this great department that we have here in the city of Baton Rouge. I have to thank, first and most, my family for allowing me this opportunity to get to this where I wanted to be in life, the department that stands behind me every single day of the men and women that show up to do this job, and of course, my boss, Mayor Sharon Weston Broom, that appointed me. Without her, I wouldn't be here today. Just kind of off what he spoke of is the history of how I got here. I'm very proud and very anxious to tell you that I'm living a dream. Every kid during Halloween or at Christmas, they want a fire truck. They want to be a fireman when they grow up. I was that kid. I watched my dad leave every morning to go to the firehouse, and when he come home, I had a million questions. And from that, as a young age, that's all I wanted to do. I was very fortunate my parents allowed me to join a fire department in the city of Zachary as a junior fireman. Started at the age of 11 and still serve there today. When my friends was going out and doing things and going to different parties and whatnot, I was found at the fire station. And as I missed out on some stuff, it got me to where I wanted to be. I always wanted to be a firefighter, but not just a normal fireman. There was one goal that I had, and that was to be a Baton Rouge fireman assigned to Engine 12 downtown on Government Street. The reason that's so key to me, my grandfather spent most of his career at that house. When he left, my father went there and spent 28 years. And the day my father left, luckily I got assigned to that engine company and stayed there till 2016 until I was promoted out to the Fire Investigation Division. So a little bit about the Baton Rouge Fire Department. It goes back a long time. 1825 is when it was formally formed as the Baton Rouge Bucket Company. 94 brave citizens of this city at the time said we got to do something for fire protection, and they formed the first fire brigade. As time went on, the city formed a professional department and hired Chief Bogan as the first fire chief of the city of Baton Rouge in 1918. I am the 10th fire chief since 1918 to serve this city. We've had a lot of fire chiefs serve a long time to get us where we're at today. I'm very proud of that. We have a mission in the Baton Rouge Fire Department. It's very simple: to maximize our ability to protect life, reduce injury, conserve property through continuous training, planning, and public education. One thing that holds very close to our heart in the city of Baton Rouge and the fire service is we're a Class 1 department. That goes through our PIL, our Property Insurance Association, that comes in and credits us of how we perform and how we act during certain events. We're the first city in the United States of America to receive this. We received that award in 1980 and still hold that award today. But what does the PIL stand for? What does it mean? It looks at us as a fire department as a whole. And most people think that it's just the fire service that goes into how you get your insurance ratings. That's somewhat true, but not all true. Most of it is the fire service. They come in and look at our operations. How do we respond to incidents? How many people we have on the apparatus, and what jobs we do. They look at the training that we perform. We're supposed to have so many hours a year per person, which we accomplish. They look at how we prevent fires and how our inspection bureau goes out to prevent fires. The second part is the water system. The water system is a private-only company. Baton Rouge Water Company, there's Red Oaks, there's several in this city. Predominantly the water company of Baton Rouge Water Companies, who we deal with, have a very good relationship. They own the fire plugs, they own the water system. We assist by checking the plugs yearly. We identify the plugs that we need, and we test them. That part goes into the rating as well. The third component is the 911 communication center. How quick is a 911 call answered here in the city? And how many dispatchers do we have inside that center to answer 911 emergencies? They take all those components and come up with a number, and that's how they determine what class you are. Class 1 being the best, Class 10 being the worst you could do. So again, we're a Class 1 city, and something very, very proud to be. There's not many in the state that have that. But what is the Baton Rouge Fire Department made of? It's made up of 577 of the bravest of brave people you've ever met in your life. The men and women of this city come to work every single day and put their life on the line to protect life and to save lives and protect property. These people leave their homes to serve you. We have 19 firehouses spread out across this city, 19 engine companies, 9 ladders, 2 heavy rescues, and a command staff of 7, 24 hours a day, 365 days a year. Some of you get off work at 4:30 and able to go home, get up the next day, come back to work. These men show up at 6 o'clock in the morning and get off the next morning at 6 o'clock. They leave their families for 24 hours a day, rain, sleet, snow, hot, hurricane, Christmas morning, or just that normal Saturday weekend. We never close, we're always open. One thing that plays into our department, another that's very huge, is the National Fire Protection Association has come out with a fire truck needs to be on an incident within 5 minutes and 20 seconds. That seems like a long time, but by the time you pick up the phone and you dial 911, within 5 minutes and 20 seconds in the city of Baton Rouge, 92.6% of the time, a fire truck's in your front door. That's very quick, and that's due to the fact that we have our trucks geographically located to respond to quickest incidents in this city. We have numerous specialized divisions. We don't just do fire. We respond, of course, to any type of fire, a house fire, your fire alarm's going off. We do a lot of medical calls. Over 50% of our responses are in the medical field. We have a lot of different divisions. The communications division is a very key component of us, what we do. We have 22 personnel that work 24 hours a day, 12-hour shifts, that handle maintaining our trucks when they respond to incidents and handle those life-changing 911 calls. If any of you have never made a 911 call, I'm very glad that you haven't. When people make that 911 call, they're at the worst time of their life. They're asking for somebody to answer their questions and get them their help. And our people are very trained to be able to answer and stay calm at a person's worst moment of their life. Last year, our dispatchers dispatched our fire companies to over 34,000 calls here in the city of Baton Rouge. As of June 1st of this year, we're over 15,000. As we are at this point, our calls have increased 16%. So we've seen a drastic increase in the responses that we're making here in the city of Baton Rouge on the fire service. We have 132 units of our apparatus. That's a lot of oil changes, a lot of tires to change. We have a division of own mechanics that maintain our fleet. That's a cost saving to citizens that we don't have to outsource some of those resources. We can handle all that in-house. A lot of you as business owners have a direct contact with our Fire Prevention Bureau. The Fire Prevention Bureau's job is to enforce fire codes, regulations, inspect, and abate existing and potential fire hazards. They also perform the permitting and inspection process of all commercial businesses inside the city. Their job is to go out and touch every commercial occupancy, and inspect it to make sure it's within the life safety code. Another specialized division that we have is that most people don't realize, we have a fire investigation division. These guys are law enforcement commissioned fire investigators that go out and have two tasks. They determine how a fire starts, and if the fire was started by a person, they determine that it was intentionally set in a malicious intent. They go out and locate and apprehend that individual. Last year we had 2023, we had 40 arrests. They had investigated 337 fires. Our clearance rate for arrest and arson is 31%. The national average is 24%. So we're ahead of the margin on our clearance rate within the Fire Investigation Division. Again, as I spoke earlier, we're an all hazards department. Fire, medical, rescue, hazmat. At the end of the day, our overall goal is to serve the citizens of this city. We have a very great relationship with all our public safety partners. We've formed an incident management team, which consists of all the public agencies coming together for the large LSU football games, Spanish Town parades, South Downs. Of any large event, we come together and have conversations of planning to mobilize the quickest resource to get to people in the event of an issue. Within the City of Baton Rouge Fire Department, we have an urban search and rescue team. We're one of 3 in the state of highly qualified technical aspects of people that are capable of handling any type of building collapse, trench rescue, swift water, or flood response. Since being established in 2005, the team of Baton Rouge has been deployed 25 times outside the state of Louisiana. They've gone from Port Arthur all across the Gulf Coast up the East Coast to the Carolinas for any disaster that has happened. But as these men and women go to work every day, they experience some very tough times. They see stuff that most people shouldn't see in their life. But their job is to come here and provide a service. So when they come back off of these calls, what they've seen or what they dealt with is still in their head. When they get off and go to work or go home the next morning, their families have to deal with the same thing. We have a very good component called our peer support. It's counselors within our department. It's not a professional licensed counselor. It's counselors within our department that are already fire service personnel that have experienced some of these components to come back and help prepare our people and to get them the help that they need. Around the tables today, we have passed them some cards around, some push cards of a project we started about 2 years ago that we're highly encouraging as many people to get as possible. It's called Community Connect. It's a community outreach program we've started. For commercial businesses, we was going out in the past and do what we call a pre-plan. We was getting a footprint of your commercial occupancy, where certain electrical shutoffs was, your gas shutoff, utilities, different things that can make our job easier. Phone numbers to call in case we had to come to your business. Well, we're trying to move that to the residential side now. We're trying to get citizens within inside the city of Baton Rouge to go on this site, this brla.gov/connect. You can go on there and give us valuable information that can help us prior to us being dispatched to your house. It's in a secure location. The only time it goes out is when we receive a call at your physical address. For instance, if you have a person living on in the back of your house that has special needs or that needs special accommodations, you go online and you tell us that. We know that before we ever show up to your house. Our engine companies are getting told this information prior. You as a homeowner could go on there, as well as when the fire truck gets dispatched to your home or to your commercial occupancy, you get a phone call from the system letting you know that the fire department is now responding to your house. What does this do for you? Well, it does numerous things. Again, it lets us have knowledge of key things at your home that's going to help us save lives. And that's our ultimate goal, is to save lives. So there's lots of things that we have talked about very quickly, just to kind of give you where we're at in our department. But where are we going? The fire service is changing daily. A lot of the trends that are happening through technology, the environment we're going into, we're battling, trying to keep our people cancer-free. Unfortunately, in the last 8 months, we lost 2 firefighters in the line of duty to cancer. Our guys are running into these smoke-and-filled environments. We're trying to get them the best technology of protective equipment to help save their lives so they can live past their retirement. These men and women come and give the city of Baton Rouge 32 hard years of their life. We want to make sure they can enjoy time after they retire. So that's one of the things we're trying to focus on, is giving the proper equipment to limit that exposure. But that's part of what we do, and we understand that. Our medical capabilities right now, every engine company and truck company in the city has the basic life support on it. We're trying to advance those skills to an advanced level. As I told you earlier, we respond to pretty much every medical call when you call 911, and we're there way before the ambulance shows up. We have a lot more fire trucks than the ambulance service has, and we work hand in hand with the EMS. But we get there first and able to start the care. We're looking at advancing our cares for our citizens. And the ultimate thing is, the last thing I should say, is to increase our number of Community Connect. Again, the more people we can touch and have information on will help us save lives. So thank you for your time. I've just given you a little brief rundown on the City of Baton Rouge Fire Service. Yes, sir.
First of all, Chief, thank you very much for your service of your people. 3 real quick questions. One is easy to answer: the number of women in your workforce. Second question: how is the incorporation of the City of St. George going to affect your services? And then the third thing is, what sorts of things can we do as Rotarians to support you spiritually? What can we pray for? How can we physically support you? And how can we politically support you?
Okay, so I'm gonna hit one question at a time. You might have to help me remember the exact question. So the number of women on the fire apparatus, we currently have 3. Now, we have other divisions within the communication, clerical, finance. We have it's about probably right around 35 to 40 of women. Your question on how the St. George Incorporation will affect the fire service in Baton Rouge, it's not. We have a very good relationship with the city of with the St. George Fire Protection District. We respond together every single day through a mutual aid agreement. We respond with the closest apparatus, with passing the boundary lines to make sure we provide the quickest and the best service for you of getting a good fire truck there to assist you. So that as of now, we're going to continue on with the path we have.
And then the third question was how we can support you financially, politically, and what we can pray for you for.
So what you can pray for us is well-being of our people. Every single day to put the Lord to wrap his arms around our men and women that are going out there doing the work. Financially, we're a tax-based driven department. We live off the sales tax, right? So that's how we operate. There is some upcoming a millage that our Professional Firefighters Association is coming to the ballot to try to get a vote of the citizens to help give an increase in salaries. That would be a huge impact to our men and women to help put food on their table. And that's a huge impact for us.
Thank you.
Yes, sir.
Thank you, Chief Kimble. Roy Haggerty at LSU. Your last name reminded or gave me this question. My father-in-law, mother-in-law, last name Kimble as well. I'm from the West Coast, and 2018, they were nearly killed in a forest fire that burned 6,000 structures, a Tubbs fire in Santa Rosa. And that came home to me last year here in Baton Rouge with the drought and what we're seeing there. With climate change, these are more likely events. And so I'm wondering what the department here and the community here is doing to think about safety into the future, hardening our city against potential disaster down the road as a result of wildfire.
So compared to the areas that you're speaking of, you know, we did have some issues in the west part of Louisiana to where it was significantly large fires. And we sent people from the Baton Rouge Fire Department to Beauregard to assist in that. But here in the city limits of Baton Rouge, what we've pushed in the past, and there's through ordinances, there is no open burning in the city of Baton Rouge without a permit through our fire inspection division. It's educating people to not burn. And especially on times when it's a dry drought, the fire marshal comes out and puts out a burn ban. But in the city of Baton Rouge, we've always pushed to no open burning.
Do you have a drone capability, and if so, how do you use it?
Sir, I'm glad you asked that. We just recently purchased 2 drones about 2 weeks ago. We've been in the process of getting the people the training and the license to use drones. The aviation has been a huge impact in the fire service. How we will use that is in large commercial building fires. My incident commander can sit in his command post and get a bird's eye view of the operation ongoing, which helps him make the tactical decisions as we move forward. We've had a process of using it with the city police for missing children in fields, which was a success of using aviation. So it does have a very helpful part in the fire service.
Good afternoon. I'm Renita Thomas, and I own a medical daycare for medically fragile children in the Stollinger community. So we thank you very much for your partnership. You guys work very closely with us. You've helped us to stabilize lots of children, to get them ready for EMS and get them to the hospital in a timely way, very professional. So we really appreciate your partnership with our organization.
Thank you so much. Yes, sir.
2 numbers you said that really intrigued me. 34,000 calls, 365 days a year. That's like 100 calls a day for 19 stations?
Yes, sir.
Wow.
Some of our engine companies are busier than others. Some of our companies average probably 15, 18 runs a day. And some are
And
less.
the other thing was the 5 minutes and 20 seconds. How can you do that in Baton Rouge at 5 o'clock?
So as I said, there's a percentage, the average. Sometimes it is tough, but we're very fortunate. We have computer aid dispatch on our trucks, some computers. It builds in some of that and can help our engine company and truck companies know the route due to traffic through the process that the city just went through with the traffic engineering department of sharing that information is truly helping getting fire trucks and emergency personnel to scenes quicker, and through the red light program has shown it has helped.
I don't see how the station down on Jefferson Highway can get anywhere.
That's St. George Station 62. I know they've been having some construction struggles right there, and I'm sure they're biting that.
Chief, George Bell with United Way. First of all, thank you for what you do and your leadership. One of the things that comes to mind is, I know there are a number of homes that still don't have smoke detectors, that still don't have adequate support within to prevent fires from occurring. What can be done, or what more can be done? We've assisted organizations that have gone in and installed smoke detectors, things like that. But what would you like to see done to help shore up our community?
Thank you. That's a good question, and I overlooked that part of the smoke detector installation program. We've partnered with the State Fire Marshal's Office, Red Cross, other nonprofits have come to us, and we've partnered up with going out and trying to put a smoke detector in every residential home. If somebody in this city or in the state, but if they're missing a smoke detector in their home, they can call the Baton Rouge Fire Department, 354-1400, or get in touch with the fire station, and we will come install ourselves, and you come in your home and put it on the wall for you. So we highly encourage, and please pass that word on. If you know somebody that needs one, we're one phone call away, and we'll be at your front door installing it for you.
If you're in the St. George district, are they looking also for residential cooperation
What's that with, ma'am?
to upload, your own home residence?
That's a software that the city of Baton Rouge purchased. I cannot speak if St. George has that or not.
Okay, thanks.
Do you, your fire department responsible for the LSU campus, or is it separate?
We're responsible for all of LSU's campus, yes, sir. And have a very good partnership with the LSU emergency services. We respond there during school. When we can tell when school's back in session, when it starts, the elevators and the dorm alarms go off constantly.
Chief Kimble, I would like to thank you personally. I've worked with you for 30-plus years, I think, and with your father. Chief Kimble, he's done a lot, and he was a policeman for a long time, too, a deputy sheriff, and I've worked alongside of him, and thank you for your service and your men and women in service. And we're not trying to run up in no fire like these guys here. They are heroes.
Thank you, Chief.
Quick question, Chief. Do y'all investigate every fire? Does everyone merit an investigation? And what the first tells that it was arson?
So in that, our captains, every fire truck has a captain. He's the supervisor of that apparatus. On a fire scene, that captain has the knowledge and the training to somewhat determine how the fire starts. If it's cut and dry that we know the fire started on the stove top, by a pot left on the stove, he's able to make that determination. At any time that a captain is not able to determine 100% document how the fire starts, he calls in one of our fire investigators. Our fire investigators are trained to determine what started the fire, and again, it goes into the arson side. That's not the arson, they do the fire investigation as well. They work hand in hand with most insurance companies. When a home or a commercial building has a fire and has insurance, the insurance assigns a private investigator to investigate it, and they work hand in hand to make sure it's investigated. But what are they looking for, sir, is pretty much an ignition source. If there's not an ignition source of a candle or some type of electrical appliance of that nature, then they look into human factor. Does that answer your question? Because it's a little bit.
Chief, you mentioned your in-house therapy sessions. When somebody needs more support, what's the resources?
So we have a long line. Once it gets past us, we have an EAP program that we can assist them with. There's other counselors through the process, through the State of Firefighters Association, that we can reach out to that will assist us with resources. And they come hand in hand. When we have a firefighter death or make a tragic response, they come in and help us take care of our own people.
As someone that was unfortunate enough to have a big fire, how do you interact
So we have a very good relationship with the, I don't want to call them volunteers, because in East Baton Rouge Parish, there's only about two volunteers left in the city, in the parish, and I'm one of them. I still volunteered at the city of Zachary. My wife can't stand it. My phone rings for the city of Baton Rouge, or I have a pager that goes off at 2 o'clock in the morning to alert me that somebody needs some assistance. A lot of the fire services in this parish have transitioned away from volunteers to paid staff full-time, or they have firefighters that work for other professional departments that go and fill in to cover those houses 24 hours a day. In the city of Baton Rouge, we respond to pretty much, if there's a fire outside the city within East Baton Rouge Parish boundaries, the likelihood of a Baton Rouge fire truck being there is high. We all respond with each other. We train together. We work together. We look at it as, it don't matter what color your fire truck is or what the name of on the side is, we're all firefighters. And we're here to serve the citizens of this parish, or even outside the parish. We've gone as far as Point Capee Parish about 2 months ago. We've gone to the city of Plaquemine to go assist our brothers or sisters in need that need help to backfill for them.
That's it. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much for your time.